What is going on, everybody? And welcome into the what was that? Why was I hearing myself 3 times over?
I don't know.
Epic. We got to hear you in reverb.
Okay.
We got the epic reverb going on. Echo, go.
Well, welcome in, everybody, to episode number 68, the most professional and unscuffed podcast that there possibly is on the intro net. If you are here live chatting with us, thank you for joining us. If you are listening to us after the fact, well, get your fucking asses in here and come join us live. We do this live every other week. But no, seriously, episode 68. We are one away from Scruffy's. I think next week's show or next episode, we're just gonna let Scruffy do all his things. It's just gonna be a Scruffy cast.
This is the Scruff episode.
It's gonna be full of just innuendos, all that nice. Just
how is that different than any other fucking time we do this show?
That's true. We do go a little hard on this show.
Oh my god, it's already started. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. It is episode number 68. We got the whole crew here. Super stoked to be back. We obviously have got news to talk about, games to talk about, Twitch and YouTube drama and things like that to talk about. And for the first time, we are showcasing live right on the Pre-Patch Podcast YouTube channel.
Pretty dope.
And I like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So thank you to our dedicated member, Mr. Bill, for allowing us to sacrifice the channel to be able to broadcast on that. So make sure, if you are here,
Absolutely.
you better go fucking follow and subscribe and like and ring the bell for Bill, because that's important. And he gave up his spot. So thank you so much to Bill for allowing that to happen.
Hey, it's for the brand. It's for the brand.
It is.
Are we actually live on Pre-Patch?
Everything went through, no problem.
Okay.
Yep. We are there. So
Good.
so welcome into everybody. Thanks to Enigma for holding it down over on the Twitch side of things. He's keeping us deep purple. So we've got deep red over here. And
Last man standing.
So, last man.
Man
So
standing.
we get him.
Well, we'll get him. He's coming. I beg to differ, because a new video went up of what we're going to showcase. I have no Twitch clips on this. Actually,
prove anything. I'm gonna go and delete it right now.
Actually, shit, I do have to go grab that Twitch clip, because you did stream fucking.
I did stream on Twitch.
Defendant. Damn it! And I gotta go set that up, motherfucker. Anyway, well, welcome in, everybody. It is episode number 68, and we are super stoked to be here. Extremely. We love doing this show. We look forward to it every week. We have to wait an additional week, because at some point in time, I'm going to realize 68 episodes, we do this every other week and not every fucking week. But, it is what it is. So
maybe one day we'll do it every week.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. But,
I don't know, man. I don't know. With tonight's shit, I don't know if we'll be able to do it.
Oh, my God. I took a fucking break. I didn't die. I literally just took a break. I shut my phone off, guys. I work in this industry and literally have Discord going.
Missing posters and the
Jesus
with
fucking me and Scruffy was calling Amber alerts.
Listen, all you got to do, Sen, is just get that brain chip from Elon Musk, and then we'll never. We can have a direct line to your brain.
Right?
I'm gonna just get one of those.
It wouldn't be an issue. We'd be
fine. What is that? That old people device thing or whatever else that if you fall over.
Life alert.
Life alert. Yeah, I'm just gonna get that.
Listen, I'm just gonna send out 4 of those bracelets that have the little button that you poke it, and then everybody else's bracelet lights up. Just so that you guys know we're thinking about each other.
The heart monitor bracelets or whatever, so that you can see see on your phone everybody's heart beat.
Enigma, I'm sending you right now. I've seen it on TikTok. The little thing that if you miss your girlfriend, press this little button and it'll send them a notification letting them know. I'm gonna get you one. I'm gonna get you one for me, so then I'll send a button and I'll be like, oh, Sin's thinking of me. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Anyway, so we're here, and we're live, and obviously, again, if you can't watch us live, or you have to be here and then have to leave and jet, hey, go check us out on any of your podcast apps, anchor.fm/prepatch podcast. You can go check out there. We upload all the stuff to Spotify and all of your apps. So you guys know the drill. Fuck, it's 68 episodes. You guys know what to go do. So, I want to kick off and ask a question, because I heard this on another podcast that I was listening to, And I wanted to ask this before we get started because I didn't want to derail the podcast with all the other stuff. I just want to go ahead and derail it at the very beginning.
Okay.
Okay. Black Adam is coming out tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Are you guys gonna go see it in the movie theater?
I don't see movies in the movie theater,
yes.
my dude.
Okay. All right. Well, for me,
I see horror movies and James Bond movies. Those are like the two things. Anything else, I'll just wait until it comes out on.
Okay,
video.
so let's just say you were
I've
to
heard
go
it's
to the
really
movie.
good, man. Like the reviews have been coming in, and they're saying it's decent.
Excuse me, sir. It's DC. It's campy. No, I'm just kidding. Some DC movies are actually not that bad. So anyway, the point of it is not the fact that the movie is coming out. I'm just using that as a segue and saying like, okay, cool, the movie's coming out. What was told to me was absolutely flabbergasted. Have you guys ever heard of people going to a movie theater and they'll order a large drink, no popcorn, go to the inside the theater, wait for one that is done that just finished.
I've heard of it.
Go grab it.
They'll do what? One more time.
Okay,
they'll pick a popcorn container out of the trash and go get a free refill
for the largest.
Oh shit.
It's not the craziest idea, and I don't think it's the most disgusting either. Because
that is nasty, bro.
That is nasty. Yeah, in the life of COVID-19, that's kind of gross, bro.
In the life of not COVID-19.
Listen, that's next level thinking, though.
It is. And because that shit is so expensive at movie theaters, I can't even blame people for doing that.
Let's be real here. They load that stuff up with so much salt that the salt probably sterilizes it anyway.
Absolutely fucking not. Look, I know, I know what I've done with my hands in a movie theater, right? Like just in general, and then it's going in the pop.
If you find a popcorn, bowl with a hole cut out in the middle of it, definitely don't use that one.
That's
definitely
mine.
That's not extra butter.
Right?
You know what? Now that you mention it, yeah, that's a pass. Okay.
Like I'm just thinking
I'm more for the sneaking shit in, dude. I've got that stuff down to a science. You got to use the back of your hoodie. That is what are they gonna like? Yeah,
I have a specific jacket for movie theaters. It's like one of those Michelin Man jackets, but it has like inside pockets and it's like just super fluffy. So even if it's like midsummer 90 degrees, wear that shit in.
That way you don't have to, actually contract something from a movie theater popcorn container.
I mean, so I'm gonna tell you something that why I stopped like accepting stuff people snuck in, even like my wife, and it's like. So I used to have a buddy. We'd go to the movie theaters, would sneak in just the most random shit. I mean, I'm not lying to you when I said the guy snuck in nachos in his pocket. I don't know how. But so
I had a buddy that snuck in a whole pizza box from Little Caesars, and I was just like, how the what?
So this guy, we were going to see a movie, and I specifically remember because it was a Marvel movie. It was Captain America, the very first, premiere. We're not going to see. Awesome. This guy comes in, sneaks it in. He sneaks in gummy bears, right? And he sneaks it, and he opens the gummy bears, and I'm like, why are these fucking hot? Like, why are they warm? This is gross. He's like, oh no, they were in my pants. And I'm like,
they were in my gooch.
And that's where he kept them. I was like, wait, hold on 1 second. Like outside or inside the underwear? And he tells me they were inside his underwear, bro.
Baby.
I'm like, come on.
Gotta keep them nice and warm. You know what I mean?
Nasty, man. Like, oh. Anyway, yeah. So
he was just being, he was just making sure that you had the best experience. Dude,
is any movie theater padding?
Cold gummy bear. You know how bad cold gummy bears? When they stick on your teeth and shit. No,
I don't want
that.
Like cat candy.
I don't want taint gummy bears. I don't need taint bears. That's not what I need. Like, I'm good, man. I'll take the risk. Like that's and what movie theater is patting somebody down that seriously? Like who's patting? Yeah, no, I didn't grab the chocolate gummy bear. Trust me, don't worry about that one.
We're definitely not monetized now, guys.
No, this one's gone. Anyway, so yeah, I was just wondering. I heard it on a podcast. I was like, "There's no way that this is like an actual thing." Like, and I guess so. I don't know. That's gross.
I don't have to worry about it. The movie theater that I have to go to because of my back issues, I have to go to one of the ones that have the relaxation things. Yeah, the recliners, and they don't care if you bring things in because you're already paying like $30 for a fucking ticket.
You're getting a happy ending at a fucking movie theater?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I
mean,
wow. Okay. Yeah, I guess
why not?
Contracting something as popcorn, you ain't got to worry about that one.
Why not, man?
Hey, sure. Okay. Anyway,
All right. Anyways.
So, what was that, Scruffy, about waiting until episode 69 to make this?
Right.
Right.
We don't have to wait.
Yeah. So, if you're new to the show, welcome in. If you're not new to the show, you guys know that we start off every single episode talking about Twitch and YouTube news, and drama and whatever else. Last episode, I'm correcting myself. Last episode, we talked about TwitchCon. We kind of gave what our thoughts were going to be around TwitchCon, and some of us were hopeful that TwitchCon was going to be. I think we were all hopeful that TwitchCon was going to be great.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah, and some of us were more skeptical, I think, in the end. And I don't think it was as bad as what I will come out and say, like, I thought it was gonna be, but it definitely was not as.
It definitely dropped the hammer. Like
it broke people's backs. Like, got people trampled. Yeah. TwitchCon this year was rough. They barred people that had switched over from their platform to YouTube, from going, which I think some of us have, like, we have differing opinions, right? I think,
it's all about the context.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, that's stupid. Like, that again, when we talked about it, I equated it to like you quitting your job and then showing up for the fucking Christmas party because you wanted to fucking get the presents. Well, that's just so fucking weird to me.
It depends.
The difference in it, though, is like it's a convention, so it's a public event. It's not the same as like I get what you're saying with like the analogy, but it's not quite the same as like a Christmas party where it's only business.
Like the private parties there, like I could see them not being allowed.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take it down that route, right? Like, technically, you could take it down the route of like, okay, we're going to like a nice venue, or like a I don't know, like a ball or something, whatever you want, a party that you're required to fucking pay for, right? You're required to pay for the ticket. Granted, I'm sure that these people paid for. Actually, I don't think the one that we were talking about did pay for a ticket. I think he came as a guest. If I'm not mistaken.
Guest, yeah, that is true.
And on top of that, he came as a guest and was walking around with the person that actually paid for the fucking tickets badge, trying to get into places under that name. So if you want to take it, if you want to take it down that route. Again, granted, yeah, it's a public event, but you still have to fucking pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely depends on like the individual scenario. Like that specific case, all rights for them to be kicked out because they're not even paying for the event and they're coming as a guest.
And again, I'll point out the Ludwig, I think is his name, right? Ludwig went to TwitchCon, right? And when he went to TwitchCon, he essentially, when he got there, he was like, I'm not here as Ludwig. I'm here as guest of XYZ. Don't fucking come and talk to me. I'm just here to enjoy my time. This person came to the convention, and I obviously I can't prove it, but it seems to me that he came to the convention with every intention of causing issues, or at least causing a scene,
causing a ruckus, as some might say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, we've talked about it, right? So it just depends. It depends on, what are the internal things that were there. I will say that I feel like Twitch made a bigger scene, which then out of it, and then in turn, this person, used that as content, and back for it. Like, I think that at the end of the day, they should have just been like, which we don't know what the full we're not going to know all of Twitch's side. We don't know.
I think that's inaccurate because Twitch did not cause a big scene. They tried to get him out of the building quietly, and then he caused a scene. People kept coming up to him being like, oh, he's here, causing an even larger scene.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it was done the manner that they did it in, by doing it in a public place with a creator of this size. Like, I'm not faulting Twitch when of that. What I'm saying is that they could have gone in and pulled him aside, pulled him into I've been to the San Diego hall. They pull him in they didn't pull him into a room, did they?
As far as that video,
I don't think they could have gotten away or straight away from
as far as that video said. It's essentially they came up to him kind of privately, pulled him off to the side, and were like, hey, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. Please leave. And then as they were pulling him off to the side, he started, people started conglomerating and coming over and causing a scene. And that's as far as I know. Again, we don't know the full story on that one, at least. So do I believe that do I believe that it's childish of Twitch to be doing it? Yes, 100%. I think that they brought definitely more publicity to it than they probably should have, just by being like, whatever, dude. Just like with Ludwig.
It would have been different if they came under their own name and paid for a ticket themselves and actually got in the legit way. Do you think things would have turned out differently, or do you think Twitch still would have kicked them out?
I don't think Twitch would have let him. Yeah.
Twitch would have let him even buy a ticket.
I think they would have.
You think they would have let him buy a ticket and come as a creator for them?
They couldn't.
Not as a creator for them. You could just come as a general.
Yeah, they couldn't stop him they couldn't deny him a ticket if he purchased the ticket. Even as coming as a guest, I don't even think that like there's a problem.
You can 100% deny them. They're a business. They can 100% deny
right. But what I'm saying is that I don't think when I say that they wouldn't or they can't, I'm saying in the realm of what they are doing, if he were to have purchased a ticket, and bought it and gone about it that way, the backlash that they would have gotten for banning said person from here only because of that would have looked a hell of a lot worse. Now has Twitch done stupid shit like that? Yeah, so I don't think they would have done that, but I think that the thing here is that if this said person was trying to get into the partner lounge, if they were trying to do things that were nefarious, well then Twitch is got every right to say, hey, look, you don't need to be like you're not supposed to be here. That
was my only thing. Is it just seemed like, and again, it's childish in my opinion, it's childish on both ends. He came there knowing that it was going to cause issues.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
I agreed.
Like you can say otherwise or not, but 100% he came there. I won't say intending to, but he came there knowing that there was a.
I don't think
knowing there was a very high chance that there was going to be issues.
I don't think he's not on the level of like Doc, as far as him at Twitch. But it would be like if Doc showed up at TwitchCon, obviously Twitch is going to be like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Like you're not showing.
But it's like I said, like Ludwig going there. I completely agree with like Ludwig is completely fine. He handled it exactly like he should have. He came as a guest. He didn't come as a content creator. He came there to enjoy what TwitchCon had. And when people came up to him, like I think I was watching Mogul Mail when he came back, he was like, I had several people come up and be like, oh, Ludwig, and he was like, no, go away. I'm not here as a content creator. I'm here as random guest. I'm not, go away.
Yeah. Do you think on the Doc situation? Do you think if not Doc but Guy Beam actually showed up, not in Doc attire, you think they'd let him in?
I don't know. I guess it depends on what their whole legal situation is.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, we still don't know their whole legal situation.
We still don't know. Like we don't know if there's like a restraining order or any kind of like legal documentation backing that he can't be within XYZ miles of a premises that is owned by Twitch, et cetera, but I don't know. I think that even if he came on, I feel like even if he came in there as just a guest, that 100% they would have treated it the exact same way.
Yeah.
If not worse, they would have been like, get the fuck out.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just interesting if like I said, because Doc is obviously the persona, Guy Beam is not, but it's the same person either way. So anyway, so TwitchCon, more like past the gate, we now get into the actual convention itself. It was just like I saw footage. I talked, obviously my company was there, in a small way. And it just seemed like it was just so thrown together, which is kind of crazy to me because, this event has been planned for a year, right? Almost more than that, really. And it was just seemed like it was so thrown together, last minute with vendors and things like that. And from what I was told, I mean, I'm not going to focus on like every year there's stories of people doing, things that they shouldn't be doing and getting drunk and doing stupid shit and stuff like that, which is terrible in any way, shape, or form. I don't know why humans can't fucking not be disgusting animals when they all gather. But, the big thing that came out of it was obviously the Intel booth it was Intel Lenovo, right? Wasn't that the booth?
Lenovo. It was a Lenovo with Intel backing, as far as I remember.
the good old pugil stick pit, you know, whatever it was called, broke Adriana Chechik's back in a very, very serious way, not like a small fracture.
And let me just like interject here, because like as somebody that's been through this, right? Watching that fucking video made my back surgery fucking hurt. Like that was a terrible fucking thing. And she is going to be fucking done for life, essentially.
She's in a lot of pain.
Metal rods, all of that.
I'm aware. That's the same shit that I go through on a daily basis. I didn't break 3 of my vertebrae, but one of them is more than enough. 3 is excruciating, I'm sure.
Yeah. And if you're not aware of what we're talking about, there's basically a pit. I don't even want to say a foam pit because it really wasn't a foam
gladiator pit. It was like they were trying to do like gladiator games or whatever.
Like pugil, like the pugil sticks where you knock somebody off the top, off their little platform.
Yeah.
And whose ever bright idea it was only put an inch. Was it even a full inch lining of these foam blocks? You know, that were on this concrete floor.
From
what I remember reading, the foam itself was like 5 inches by 5 inches, right, squared.
Yeah.
And then up and beneath that, it was like just a very thin. Actually, I don't even think there was.
I think it was just concrete. I think it was just the
concrete. It was just straight round, like just straight.
So they, from what I remember reading, it was just like 2 layers of 5 inch by 5 inch, like really thin foam, and that's not even
gonna do
close
shit.
to enough.
And so she jumped off the ledge after winning to go into said foam pit, and she landed straight on her spine, like kind of did this like split thing and landed on basically on her butt,
right on her ass,
and shattered 3 of her vertebrae in that. And she was not the only one. There was another person that ended up dislocating their kneecap. There was another person that broke their wrist,
broken ankle, or I think
twisted her ankle,
her ankle.
To the point that they had to shut it down because it was obviously hurting too many people.
I mean, if you had to sign a waiver for that, that should be already a red flag. Like
that's what I was saying. Like 100%. If I went to that pit and they were like, "Oh, here, sign this medical form waiver that waives any rights that you have towards any bodily harm that comes to you in this," I'd be like, "I'm good."
I don't know. I mean, they're still like you're hitting somebody in the face with a pugil stick. That wouldn't have raised questions to me, because I mean, again, if you're getting on a thing where you're going to hit somebody in the face with a big stick made out of foam, like that's where they're like, I don't think that they saw it as. And again, this is not Twitch's fault. Like, it's whoever designed this pit. I don't know.
The only part that I can say was Twitch's fault was allowing it to go on for so long and not closing it down, as well as not like going and inspecting the pit and being like, this is like a layer of foam going right to fucking concrete. Yeah,
there should be
because like in where it was, I believe it was in Anaheim, is it not? It's in LA, or is it in San Diego?
It's in San Diego.
San Diego. Okay. Either way, you're in California. California has some of the worst fucking, like the most stringent and just like strict health examination, but like health requirements for some of these events. So the fact that like this was even allowed to go on, I can 100% blame Twitch to be that they weren't like, hey, this doesn't even look closely to being safe. We're not going to have this, you know?
Yeah.
But I think what the problem is that because the whole COVID situation happened and last year's TwitchCon wasn't able to happen, right? They were just like, any vendor that wants to come in for this event, let them in, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Intel and Lenovo. I mean, that's they're not small companies.
Yeah.
Well, they could have been there and just not had the phone put. Like, if there was an inspection on it, be like, yeah, this doesn't pass, guys, or this isn't a good idea. Don't do it. You can still have a vendor there and, you know, do something else other than this like idea of a foam pit or something. I don't know.
Should have done like a sumo wrestling thing, because at least then you're in a giant fucking sumo padding suit that.
Aside from that, the other thing that kind of really hit TwitchCon was that this was the year that, like, you know, this was an event that we were all expecting them to really come out kind of swinging, right? Like YouTube kind of gave them a 1-2 punch with their marketing around creators and payout and affiliates. Like all of this stuff just happened right before, you know, TwitchCon. So like the whole entire, all of us, myself, Bill, Enigma, Scruffy, we're all kind of betting on like, okay, cool, like Twitch is gonna come out with something like and just come like hit hard. And when the president gets up there, he looks and sounds like he is so detached from the industry that it was just basically like run more ads, run them ads, those ads, boys, ads. And it was just kind of like, this was your chance, man. Like you could have really just hit a home run. You know,
I don't think they had anything to do, honestly. Like I don't think that they're tapped out on ideas at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bill, I don't know if you have anything to add into the TwitchCon kind of mix.
I was really hoping that there would be something like I was genuinely hoping that there was going to be like unlocking bit rates or something like major to
contest.
Not even like they're just so there's a level of arrogance to it still that Twitch has where I still think they feel like they're a bit untouchable in the industry, which is fair, but it's not going to last forever. And for the sake of competition between the two, I was hoping for something because YouTube has been coming out with consistent like monthly announcements on updates and stuff, and we haven't really gotten that same thing from Twitch. And if any time, now was the time.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you think that you don't have like the spotlight's on you and you don't get this until another year, right? That you really, I mean, they'll do TwitchCon EU and maybe that will, you know, bring some stuff in, but I don't know. It just, when we were talking about last episode, me and Enigma were talking about a creator that we had talked to. Remember, Enigma, we specifically said, go to TwitchCon and listen to what happens at TwitchCon. If you go to TwitchCon and you don't hear anything big, it may be a warning sign to just say, hey, like, you know, they may be too far detached or whatever. Not saying that it's saying that they're done for, but it is something to be like, what the fuck, guys? Like, you know, this is your time to shine, and you come out with, I'm gonna break your back and ads. Like, that's just not the way I think you want to come out looking. So I don't know.
The ads thing is really bad right now. I was watching
today too.
Yeah, I was watching Bellular Gaming today, and he was covering some stuff. Apparently, like the incentivization is like 11 minutes of ads an hour, which is fucking insane. Like they're incentivizing people to run 11 minutes of ads.
Did you see how much
get their max amount of money? I did not see how much, but I do know that what's his name? Asma said it's like life changing money.
There's one that's a smaller creator. I'm not going to mention the name. I mean, you can go find it if you really want to. They posted it pretty publicly. It was, I think, $72,000, and they had to run 15 minutes of ads every hour for 3 hours. 15 minutes of ads. That is 45 minutes of ads for 3 hours for $72,000. That's fucking crazy. Like, I don't know.
I don't know what they're doing, man.
It's nuts. That's YouTube or Twitch. Moving on to the YouTube side of things. Scruffy, I'm gonna actually let you take this one because you were the we found the tweet, but you were the one that actually the shorts.
Yeah, so this is just a small little feature that YouTube just kind of, I don't even think they really advertised it. It just kind of popped up. And it's the ability to pretty much from past VODs, and maybe I think they could be any sort of like content. I don't think it has to be a past live stream VOD. I haven't checked anything else though, but you pretty much can create shorts directly from that now, which is separate from like being a clip. And as many of you know what shorts are, it's just that 1 minute.
There's those pants content that are shorter, right?
Yeah, you know, and
you can wear YouTube videos as shorts.
But as far as I know, though, I've only seen it on mobile, which is a little strange, but I guess that's kind of a format for shorts. It's almost designed for mobile a bit better. But you can remix past VODs now and just like clip out a section of it to be a short, which is handy because you could do it on the fly. Personally, I was really excited for it until I found out there's really not too much customization to it, because for me personally, I like to edit my shorts a bit more to make them more appealing to the eye, you know, having the webcam set up and the gameplay below, and even adding some subtitles and captions, you know, for different kind of content. But this really, it just takes a clip of, or a section of the middle of your, or wherever you want to align it, of your content, and it just turns it into a short directly.
I wonder if
it's
this
nice
is
to have, but it's not
beta.
Fleshed out, I feel like.
Yeah, I think this is probably just them testing the waters with it.
It could be.
And whatnot. So but it's a cool feature. I mean, it's something, at least they're moving in the right direction.
Because I mean, their editor right now, as it stands, is kind of janky.
It's so rough.
A lot, and it goes through like these processing errors a lot. So it gets like just.
It's been like that for a long time. Like their editor's been really fucked for even when I was posting shit on even when I was posting shit on YouTube back in like 2010. They really need to update that.
I found a way around it, but it's just more tedious than it needs to be. It's more work than it needs to be. So I don't know. It's a nice alternative for now. And maybe like Sin said, it's just in a beta feature. So it might be fleshed out a bit down the line.
Yeah.
So it's there.
The other side too, on the YouTube side of things as well, that we don't have in the news section here to actually talk about, but I don't know if you guys got the email, but YouTube handles. So YouTube finally, for fuck's sake, they are finally allowing us to have like basically @. So, with Twitch, you have twitch.tv/ your name. Obviously, you'll, when you get to the ability to customize, you can customize your channel name, but now you can actually have @. So in chat, you could @ somebody in chat, which is really awesome. That brings that chatting, the live feature a little bit more, makes it a little bit more personal and strengthens that. On top of that too, like it makes it easier for us to be able to set multi-streams up to have that customization. So you're going to be able to do handles. They're rolling it out in waves. I got my introduction email yesterday. I don't know if you guys have gotten it yet. So that comes usually.
Some of the names that like it's got that like weird thing that Twitch does with its its names, where it's just like random words thrown together. I don't know if you guys have looked at yours recently, but like Scruffy, yours is like Cobra Airsoft 160.
Well,
that's actually our legacy.
That's their original ones, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
They chose those. Yes, they chose those. Yes.
Old me.
And the EGR Jeep.
Yeah, it's
Eager Jeep.
Well,
that's our legacy names.
It stands for
now I
the
feel like
Uger Jeep.
Yeah,
now I feel like a dickhead.
Thanks,
the
Bill.
ERP Jeep.
Wow.
Oh man.
I thought it was like
exposing us.
No,
it could be worse.
Not.
The fucking Scruff came up around the time where he could be like 360 no scope your mom, bitch.
Dude,
my original name had like the X's in it and everything.
I was about to ask, did you do the small X, big X? Oh my god.
Mine was hella cringe back in the day,
Yeah,
so I can't
That's
even
what it
be.
was.
Jesus,
I can't even be upset.
Anyways, yeah. So,
apologies. Moving on.
Yep. Okay. Well, what? Let me ask you real quick. What is the policy? I'm asking Bill because what is the policy of if I showed my side right here real quick? Would we get any kind of like in trouble if I showed? I could show like my left side, right, or my right side.
I'd see no issue in it. I don't think
okay, so if you are, this is why you come.
A nip.
I'm not gonna show it. I won't show a nip. But if you are here live, this is why you come here. I'm gonna show you how dedicated I was to that username.
Oh, you have a tattoo?
I've seen this.
It says Jeep on my side, tattooed.
That's wild, dude.
Yep. So
do you
show your nipple?
Do you drive Jeep exclusively?
I don't own a Jeep.
Not anymore.
So
what?
I used to, but I don't own a Jeep. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the story? I'm genuinely confused. I don't care if this derails. What's going on?
I hate him.
Okay, so the name Jeep came back when I was in high school. I was a sophomore in high school.
So it has nothing to do with the car.
Okay, well, no, it does. So I used to do aggressive inline skating. So if anybody knows what that is, it's basically like you have skateboarding. Yeah, aggressive inline. Used to do
aggressive inline skating.
Dude, it's jumping on rails, grinding
so much
stuff.
About Sin today, and it makes you so much more interesting as a person, like more so than you already were.
Yeah, so
do we have any artists that can draw Sin as an aggressive inline skater?
I actually do.
Were you in those like skating derbies?
No, that's a roller derby, douchebag.
Tell me you were. I can see him in that.
No, oh my
shorts with the
God almighty. That's roller derby, you fucking twit.
Yes.
No, I'm talking about aggressive inline, like where people jump on rails, they slide down shit, all that kind of stuff. So we were at I wore Jinkos. We did have music that we would skate to, yes, and create our music or skating videos. But anyway, we were at a camp or a place, and there was this it was Camp Caswell in North Carolina, and there was a fort that had a parking deck or parking like lot underneath it, and so nobody would jump over go off the edge of this fort over into the parking lot. They would run up to it and they'd be too afraid. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Well, when I looked originally, nobody was parked there. And so I go careening off the fucking edge.
Explain the trees.
Oh my God. Okay. You know what? Y'all have a nice day. I'm out of here. I jumped off the fucking edge, and in the time frame that I had looked to the time frame that I got over the edge, a Jeep had parked underneath where I was supposed to land. So I lifted my legs just enough to be able to clip the top of the Jeep and land on the ground. Like I landed the gap, but and that's where the name came from. Ever since then, that's where the name came from. So, yep.
Alrighty then.
Are you happy? Are you happy now that you asked, or do you feel more?
The sin and lore expands.
Good Lord.
There we go. All right.
I need him. I need an image of him in his aggressive inline skating, going hardcore like parkour.
I'm gonna commission Brit for it.
Jesus Christ.
Please.
Anyway, YouTube also did some new things. I don't know which one of you guys are the ones that found this. But Bill or Enigma, it was one of you two, right? That found out about the paywall, the 4K stuff.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. They were testing, or not last week, last episode. I do the same thing, so don't worry about it. Yeah, we talked about it last episode where they were testing out like 4K behind paywalls, and as we said, terrible idea. They agreed, and they've backed out of that. So probably for the better. That seems like a pretty.
Upping the price of YouTube Premium.
They are still upgrading. Yeah, they are. I think it's going up to like $20. It was 15. It's going up to like 20 now, I think.
Interesting.
Okay.
But
well, there you go.
Yeah, it's
So sorry to all 10 people that have YouTube Premium.
Right? It's like there's a handful of like 5 people that are just going no.
I just don't see the reason why they're upping it.
Well, I'm sure they can get you in touch with those 5 people, and they can tell you the reason as to why they.
Yeah.
All
right. So, anyway.
Yeah, good times.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, we are moving on to the what we have been playing section. And this is the part of the show where we go and we talk about, well, exactly that, what we've been playing. And this week we have quite a bit of shows to talk about. We have got, give me 1 second, I need to make sure that this is on there. Theater mode, yes, awesome. So we actually all have new games and all have been streaming them, which is amazing. So I'm actually going to kick off with Enigma, since he's he streamed on Twitch, and it's just that way I don't have to keep going back and forth, which makes my life a little bit easier here. But
you're getting started out of convenience, not because
out of convenience. No, no, absolutely not.
I know.
All right.
According to some random on the internet, I heard he actually hates you. So
he does. Every single fucking one of you, just so you all know. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so first. I love your title, by the way. You said first don't or something like that or whatever. It was a very cheeky title.
Yeah, first descend don't.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that you don't like this game, but it's first descended. Yeah. It literally came out today. Well, the beta is today.
So I'm assuming you played it before you streamed it, and then you streamed it with the intent
we played it a little last night. Well, we played it a little last night. I gave it a fair shot. Like I've got like 2 or 3 hours on it. Yeah. I've got like 2 or 3 hours into it. Last night we played it. I think all three of us were chilling and trying to figure it out. But like, it's rough, man. Like it is. And like last night I was gonna give it the benefit of a doubt, where it's like, okay, it's beta. I'm gonna try and enjoy it. I'm gonna try and have fun. and I couldn't get into it, dude. Like, and I'm a fan of looter shooters. Like I've played pretty much every one of them that's come out, right? Like it's like survival for me, right? Um, it's just rough, man. Like I don't know if they can
Looks like a
fix
bad
everything about it.
division.
It is, yeah. That's what
Fair.
I think. That's exactly what I was saying in this. I was like, this is just like a shitty version of like Division meets Outriders was what we were saying last night. Yeah, like Outriders. It's like a shitty version of Outriders meets Destiny meets Division for sure. And it's not. I don't know what it is. Like it doesn't feel good. Like it just doesn't feel smooth. Like right now, I'm trying to aim down the sights and it's just janky. I'm trying to pop up like this character is supposed to be the tank, right? And I actually feel like I was tanking better with the glass cannon character.
This character is stupid. This character is fucking dumb. This is the character I picked because I like tanks and getting in there. And none of his abilities, like you can't
him in there.
Well, they do, but you have no way of judging the distance of where you're gonna land, where you're gonna go. So like you go to use his ability, which is like a ground pound, and it like leaps forward. You'll leap over people.
Of course,
you won't leap far enough. Like you don't like nothing. And then he has a shield, which when you select him, it's like, oh, you get this massive shield that's supposed to like a bubble that your teammates go in.
No.
I swear to God, it's the size of his fucking outline, maybe two of him. There's no way you fit a whole team in that thing. Like it's fucking
well,
dumb.
and to be fair, there is like runes. Like towards the end of this, I was going through the runes and kind of reading what the runes do, and there are some runes that extend your shield like distance a fair bit. So I think that's a majority of the issues that we were having was like we weren't pushing in for like the runes because there's like health runes, there's defense runes, there's attack speed runes, there's attack damage runes, everything like that, you know. So it's one of those things where like last night I couldn't understand what I was doing, but I do feel like as a tank you should be able to tank things better than the fucking glass cannon character, and like with no ruins on last night, I was tanking better than I was with this character. Like I was taking damage, I didn't give a shit. Like there was no issue with me just walking around getting shot. With this character, I couldn't stand out in the open for longer than like a couple seconds before my health was just tanking.
May I intervene for a second?
Yeah,
because I feel like there's going to be a common theme here with this game specifically, and that's pretty much there's going to be a lot of shit on it, a lot of shit talk on it.
I don't doubt it. Yeah,
and we can all pull the beta card out, the beta treatment, whatever it is. I'm for one, I'm a little tired of that in games. I'm under the influence that like if you are going to have an open beta, specifically an open beta for people to try out, it should be, for one, the standard is playable, that this is playable, but it should also be a little more than that. It should have some refined aspects to it, you know. If it's a game where it's clunky, there are things not working, yes, that's for like betas to test out, but that's also more for, you know, private playtesters and QAs to really test that stuff out before you release it to the general public. That's in my eyes. And this, I don't want to give it the beta card because it just there's a lot of it that is just not good. Even down to your ability to change settings. You know, we were having major motion blur issues that we had to really deduce and figure out. We were having stuttering. We were having all sorts of play issues, and it's just very repetitive. And the questing is just bland.
That's my biggest issue with it was the repetitiveness. Like the quests for it. And again, it might just be that it's beta. I highly doubt it because it seems like that's what they were built entirely off of. It's just go touch object, kill a bunch of shit, go to new fucking point, touch object, kill a bunch of shit, go to new point, touch object, kill a bunch of shit.
You know, we haven't played enough of it, and that's just because, you know, we just scratched the surface of it. But if that's what the surface is, what is to tell us that that's not what the rest of the game is going to be like too?
Touch grass.
Yeah.
Move along.
Yeah.
By the way, chat, if you guys are here, apologize. We don't know. There is some kind of stuttering issue that's happening. It's not on our end. That's all I can say. So I apologize if you guys are getting any of that. I don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
What do you think,
it's oh man, it's definitely rough. Like it's First off, right off the bat, like I can't do motion blur. It makes me sick. It makes me nauseous. And this game has got motion blur out the ass. And they also don't allow you to get rid of the motion blur unless you go down to like medium or low settings. The moment that you go to high, it kicks motion blur on. And there's no way of turning it off. And so it really sucks. The environments in this are very fucking bland. It is, really, these buildings that you have that are all like decrepit, there's no point in exploring them because they don't give you any there's no loot anywhere that I've seen, at least. I don't know, Enigma, you've played more of it than I have. But
I looked around, I didn't find anything.
There was not shit.
I really didn't,
that you could do.
Really, it's pretty much the same across the entire board, more or less.
You know what this feels like? This feels like a very, very old way. In fact, it's a perfect. Remember Two Human? You guys remember? You guys know what Two Human is?
Yeah, that was the Nordic one, right?
Yeah, and Dennis Dyack, like his whole before he went off the fucking deep end, like game where it was a looter shooter, it was this kind of thing. This is the exact idea of what that looks like the same formula. Like we're talking. Like early 2000s,
you know, thinking like Red Faction when you said that. In the same vein of that style of game, like that old age.
It's just like the most odd thing where it's just like go here, fight a bunch of wave of enemies. Go, then we're gonna spray a bunch of fucking loot at you. And if you looked at when we were doing that, when he went into his inventory, they just vomit fucking loot on top of loot, and it's fine. Like that's cool in a looter shooter. You want that kind of stuff, but it almost becomes a point of just like you're giving me so much garbage to look at that it gives a false impression that this is a really deep game. When in reality, all you're doing is just giving me the same gun, same exact name, same exact skin, and you're tweaking 4 elements, right, to make it be like, oh, but this is a more powerful version. Like you're literally just number crunching at that. It could have been, I don't know, and. I wanted more out of this. Like I like looter games. I love shooting games. I like third person games. Like I actually enjoyed Outriders. I wanted Outriders to be more than what it was. I was hoping that this game was going to be that. Again, I've not played a huge amount. So what I have played of it, I just did not feel compelled to keep going.
I was complaining about it on this one. Like legitimately, it feels really clunky. And I don't know if it's just this character or because like it didn't, to me last night when I was playing the ice chick, it felt clunky, but it didn't feel this clunky. Like this character, it's almost like it was an afterthought on this character with the shields and shit. I don't know.
Well, like
it just didn't feel good.
The weird thing about the shields is I even tested before I went I left and went to bed. I wanted to see if I could actually survive without ever shooting a bullet, and you put your shield up and it reflects the bullets back at the person. So like literally I just put my shields up and they were headshotting themselves. I was like, well, this is fucking weird. Like, I think so. I do want to give some games some positive stuff to the game. I like the idea that there are a lot of like ways to customize your character in the builds. Like because of the rune system, literally every single gun has got like 2 different slots or 2 different areas for runes, and then each one of those slots has 5 runes that you can put in. And yeah, I don't know. It's so there are some customization elements that are really cool, and like but I don't know. It's Nexon, man. I don't trust Nexon. So
no.
Well, we already know that like it's going to be grind heavy. Like when we looked at the because it's got like 10 or 15 other whatever you want to call them descendants that you can play and you can have
pay to win too. If they go down the route of because they have timed crafting.
That was what I was trying to get at. Is like it seems like there's definitely going to be like a speed up of time for that kind of shit, and I'm guarantee you that it will not be cheap.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's so everybody knows it's 7 hours to unlock somebody. Like it takes 7 hours to unlock. You can pay to make it faster, and you can use premium currency. But you also have to use premium currency to also unlock those characters. Like,
yeah.
It's just I don't know. I think the audience that they're trying to pull is like the Destiny audience, the Anthem audience, the Outrider audience, like the Warframe audience, maybe. But I don't think they're going to succeed. Maybe they'll pull some. I mean, I think it will. I think it's going to have people that are going to play it because
it'll definitely have people that will play because it's free to play.
Right.
Like 100% people are going to play it, regardless of how good it is or how bad it is. People will play it because it's a free to play looter shooter.
And I think the sad thing about it is that they could have kept this game grindy as fuck, but people still would have played it because this kind of grind is different than like the Lost Ark type of grind. Just because you are able to get in there, you're shooting things. It's just a different kind of experience. But I don't know. It's rough, man. It is fucking rough. So that's all I'll say about it. That's first Descendant.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta be the last Descendant.
The other thing about
the first Descendant.
I lied. I said I was gonna not say anything else about it. The weird fucking thing is that they're giving away beta keys, but yet you can just go on to Steam and request access. Yeah. So I don't know. Like that's one of the Twitch drops. It's like you can get a beta key. It's like no shit. Everybody can get a beta key. So I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, they might have closed down the Steam page. I don't know. I've once you request it, you can't tell anymore. So
yeah. All right. Well, moving on. Myself, Scruffy, and Enigma started playing game, and honestly, after seeing how much content there is, I thought we were kind of not didn't know. I didn't think we were anywhere close to being done, but I also didn't know that there was so much stuff in this. We need to go back and play it, but we started playing a game called Grounded, and this is a survival game by Obsidian. If you're unfamiliar with Obsidian, they've done. Somebody jump in here.
Vegas,
Outer Worlds, New Vegas, Fallouts, the original Fallout.
Yeah, the original Fallouts.
So this game, you are essentially a group of children that it's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You're in a backyard, and that's where you're at. And that's you basically just survive. They drop you in, and there's a storyline. I know I can't believe I'm playing a survival game with a storyline. But
that's true, actually. Wow, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you shouldn't be playing that.
I know I shouldn't. I know. When this game originally came out in early access, it was pretty rough. Enigma, I think you played it, right? When it was in early access?
Yeah, it was pretty rough. Like, it wasn't terrible. It was an early access game, but it definitely had a lot of work. The biggest problem that I had with it when it first came out was there just wasn't anything to do. Like, once you got to a certain point, the content just wasn't there.
And it wasn't. It was almost kind of frowned upon too, because this is a game that's totally out of Obsidian's realm. Like, you wouldn't expect this to be an Obsidian game.
Yeah, when it first came out, like once you got to the spider bosses and everything like that was it. Like, and like half of the map, apparently there's like, Brainstain was telling me there's an entire another section of the map that we have no fucking idea that like we've not even seen. So
yeah, I've heard it's gotten huge.
Yeah, there's so much, and it's such a well done game. Like the small little things that attention to details they do. Like if you want to get water, like that's one thing that I think that survival games really lack on is this idea of like just being if you think about it, you should be able to do it, right? Like it is just kind of that common sense. In this, they literally like, oh, you need water? Okay, we'll go get a water droplet. Like there's a water droplet, that's water, go get it. And you can you can chop down like a sprig of grass and the water droplet will like fall and bounce and all those kind of things. Like it's just the natural progression of how you play is just very intuitive. And the goofiness of the game is really great, but also too, like it is don't take that as like it not being a serious survival game. This fucking game is hard. It is fucking
not
tough.
Easy.
Like
you think a ladybug is all soft and cuddly?
Is
not
this
when
the Dark
you're
Souls of survival games.
Yeah, man.
It's
tough,
tough,
when
man.
you're like a centimeter tall.
Yeah,
like,
it's tough. It really is. Like I really do want to put this back in the rotation of games that we need to continue to play because there's so much content that's there, and there are some downfalls. Like the UI is still clunky in my opinion. Like I don't like the UI system that much. Like there's still some things
like
that
visually it fits the game's like aesthetic or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, no, it could be fleshed out a bit better.
Yeah. And the other thing that I think is a negative against the game is so you don't know what you need to like go get the next, like, aside from the story, there's nothing driving you to be like, okay, cool, I need to go over here to get this, but can I go over here to get this? Like, it's kind of like a little wonky on that end. But what they
there though, are you saying like the progression like isn't necessarily like shown to you, or like you don't have an idea of the progression?
Not necessarily the shown as like the progression. I mean more or less like just kind of there's a natural in most survival games that you go into, there's kind of like this natural like you go from here to this zone to kind of this zone, and they kind of connect. In this, they really are just like, well, you can go. I mean, in every survival, you can go to fuck anywhere you want, but like in this, they really are just kind of like, oh, you can go out there. But like everything in this fucking world, like mosquitoes will fucking kill you. There's spiders every goddamn where. Like
I think, I mean, I've played.
Mosquitoes try to kill me IRL. Delicious.
That's true.
Yeah. When it comes to survival games,
spiders
I feel like
try to
that's
kill me
not
too.
a uncommon thing, because first time playthroughs, especially, like it's all about learning and then repeating and learning from like that. And a lot of times too, you even like I've played survival games where you have to go like to external, like out of game sources to really understand what's going on too. I think that's all just part of like the natural learning aspect to it. They're not all, and I know you're not saying this, but they're not all going to hold your hand, you know?
Yeah, of course. And I'm not.
Does the game have a bestiary?
A what?
Bestiary?
Bestiary?
A bestiary? No.
Yeah. Yes, I think it does. You have like a journal system that when you discover,
you could scan stuff with your eyes, and it'll
I
tell you
don't think it did. Okay.
It might be new to you.
No, yeah, you
If
can.
it has a bestiary, that's a check mark on my book. I was talking about it the other day. That's one of my favorite aspects, especially with like enemy based games like survival, or where you need to like learn things about your enemies, like more so like in depth.
In fact,
it's easy.
I know it does.
Plus, it's a nice place for the dev to inject, like, so that you don't have to go to like a third party source or a wiki for it.
Yeah. I know that like Brainstain, when he was telling me about the new area, he was telling me about some of the monsters, and like there's a boss later on in one of the other areas that's just like it doesn't, you can't poison it, you can't bleed it.
So you have to like inspect it and like learn about it or whatever. Yeah, no, it does have like that kind of aspect to it, I believe. I don't know how in depth it is though.
It's got spiders, and if you want to know some more unneeded sharing, when Mr. Little Enigma was a little kid, spider crawled up in his ear and gotten stuck in his ear canal, in his right next to his hearing box or whatever that thing's called.
About your childhood trauma. I don't
it was dude, I cannot do spiders anymore. Yeah, ever since then, can't do it.
Yeah,
can't do it. That little bitch was right up against my
itching just thinking about it.
But that little bitch was right up against my eardrum, and its leg was brushing the eardrum, and I could hear it buzzing.
Funny.
It was whispering sweet.
It was, man.
Into your ear.
It was.
Oh, I know what one of the other things that annoy me. It doesn't have a scroll, like you can't scroll wheel through your inventory. That kind of that's a really, I don't know why that's so dumb, but it annoys me.
One of the things that kind of and I was looking at like the different builds and like the different like weapons and armor sets. One thing I will say that I'm not a big fan of is the fact that like they really, like, they have a lot of weapons and they have a lot of armors, but they're not all like created equally. Like there's a very specific armor set and a very specific weapon that everybody goes to, and that's it.
Huh.
And it's kind of that's kind of sad to me. Like,
I know that
in this type of game, in this type of game, I would really hope that like you would have like different armor sets for different reasons, like different armor sets for different bosses, and it doesn't seem that way.
Yeah,
I could be wrong right there, Brainstain. If you can correct me on that, that's just what I've read. But
like situational, like, so I won't go too into it because if people want to play it, I don't want to spoil like the progression and whatnot.
I will say
some situational armor sets and stuff.
They definitely do lean very heavily on ranged. Like at least for your starting out, like ranged is like having a bow and arrow is way easier than getting up and trying to melee something. Scruffy was just murdering people left and right while me and Enigma were running around with our fucking heads cut off.
Spoken like a coward.
Well, I'm just saying.
I was using them as bait to be fair.
So the other thing I do wish
when there's giant spiders involved, cowardice is It's somewhat
I ain't going
appropriate.
anywhere near that shit, bro.
What I will say is,
if we ever have to go up against that spot, you guys are going in there by yourself, bro. I ain't touching that. Nope.
I do wish, and I know Enigma is the same thing. I think this was a really great opportunity for them to introduce and bring in like not like almost like a necromancy class, but a class that's like Lord of the Ants that allows you to like have an ant army.
You literally could have had Lord of the Flies, like perfect.
Lord of the Flies, Lord of the Ants,
but
Lord of the cockroaches.
Really cool, actually.
It would that was one thing that I was actually thinking about the other day was like I wish that it was kind of a little bit more like Ark where you could like tame bugs.
That would be really neat.
At the same time, it's been overdone. Like the whole taming bullshit has been overdone. Like
I just want to Bugs Life game.
I would still
Like
want it, man.
I would still play it 100%.
Oh, yeah.
I would fucking I would go and get a fucking spider and be like, yeah, you're my bitch now.
That's
Fuck
a great,
you. You're my pet. You do what I tell you to do.
Yeah,
you go and crawl into other people's ears. No.
Well, we've also, I mean, we did learn that basically bait a spider into a red army nest of ants, and they will fuck some shit up. And you sit back. And, oh my god, the time that Scruffy and I baited this the spider in, and it was a spider and a ladybug all into this ant's nest, and literally I get down and Scruffy's like screaming at the top of his lungs, watching this battle happen between all of these people. It's like King Kong versus Godzilla. It was crazy. Oh, it was so good. Great. It was good. So Grounded, if you have Game Pass, it's completely free. Go check it out. Well worth it.
If not, I think it's like $30, right?
It's pretty cheap. Yeah.
It's worth every penny. Literally worth every penny. Like every bit.
And it does have a really good crafting system, like a really good construction system. It seems like the base construction seemed pretty decent.
It's got the pre-patch seal of approval.
Yes,
we need to start. We got to have like a stamp or something for the.
Yeah. Hey man, we just upgraded this. God, can you give us a little bit of a break for fuck's sake, man?
Ideas, man.
Can we get Restream to work properly and not dump our damn feed because of whatever issues with their servers before we start doing all this? Like they can barely handle this crap. So, all right, moving on. Enigma, you played another game, which was Darktide. No, Darktide,
baby, Warhammer 40K, Darktide, yeah. Bro, so you want a pre-patch stamp of approval? Like, this game is good, at least in Enigma's eyes, right? Like I think it does a really good job. So if you've ever played Vermintide 2 or Vermintide in general, it's essentially Vermintide 2 with guns.
All I've seen you do is swing this stupid axe.
So it's I mean you still have melee. That's what I was going to get to is like I think that they struck a really good balance. This was what I was most worried about with Darktide was how they were going to balance the melee and the ranged, like the guns, because in Vermintide 2, you had one character, or you had two characters, I think, technically, that had ranged. There was the archer, and then there was I can't remember. It's like the hunter or something like that, and he had like a flintlock rifle or whatever. No. He had a couple more. Regardless, I think they did a really good job with balancing out the gunplay as well as the melee in this. And it's just everything that you enjoy about Vermintide, which is just going in there, destroying hordes of undead and whatever the fuck these guys are. You have it. It's amazing. Darktide, big time. I'm loving it. It's right up there with my favorites. The only problem I have is that it doesn't feel like it, to me personally at least, it didn't feel like the classes had like a lot of differentiation between them, right? You had one that was like the Psyker, which was like a mage, which if you want to equate it to like Darktide, there was the I think it was called the Flamer or something along those lines. She was basically a mage that specialized in flame attacks.
That was my biggest thing with Vermintide. Like that, I did not enjoy Vermintide so much for like the characters and like the weapon system they had. So that's why I'm a lot more excited for this.
And the really good part about this one is like the biggest thing that annoyed me about Vermintide was that you had 4 players, right? And you had 4 classes, or well, you had more than 4 classes, but you had 4 classes originally, and only one person could play each class, right? So like if you had one person playing the dwarf, he was the only person that could play the dwarf. If you had one person playing the bright wizard, he was the only, that was the only person that was able to play the bright wizard. In this one, your
Unlock.
characters are customizable, and you can have an entire party full of Ogrins, which are the big beefy Russian dudes that are like, oh, I'm going to Hulk smash. I don't know. I think that I have an Ogrin in here. Maybe not actually. I don't remember if I had an Ogrin on this one, but yeah, you can have an entire game full of the same class essentially, which is a really great thing because like in Vermintide, I specialized in the dwarf character, but like once you had one person that maxed out the dwarf character, they either had to give up the dwarf character or continue to play the dwarf character, and that was not a very good idea because if you had like a party that didn't have a really good decent dwarf that had like a decent build, you'd get fucked really hard. So, but it's fun, man. I've been enjoying it.
Well, I know it's not out yet. How much is the game going to be?
I think it's 30, if I'm not mistaken. It's like $29.99, if I'm not mistaken.
And I also
and
this is on
Game Pass. They have a $50 version that's like an upgraded version.
I'm pretty sure this is on Game Pass. I thought this was during the Xbox showcase.
It might be.
I don't remember if it is or not. I haven't seen anything about that. They don't have they don't have crossplay at least. So
well, I mean, I know the beta right now is only on Steam, correct?
Yeah, beta right now was only on Steam. Yeah, it was just the weekend.
Okay.
So
and it's right around the corner, if I'm not mistaken.
It's November, I think 6th, 11th, somewhere around there. I can't remember.
So do you think that this does better than, let's say, I'm not gonna say Left 4 Dead, but like what was that, Back 4 Blood or whatever else? No, I'm just saying like this type of like, you know, horde zombie, you know, game, right? Like whether Vermintide, I mean, they're all horde games, right? Do you think this does a better job than those?
I mean, I think they're two different games. Like the only similarities they have is that they have massive hordes, right? Darktide is more about like going in, getting your the one thing that I will say with this one is like when you're in the map, you have different you have like a randomized selection of like collectibles that you can find. I don't think that the other games have those, do they? I don't think that Back 4 Blood has like collectibles or anything like that, right?
I don't believe so.
So that's one of the things that I like about this game, and they're strewn throughout the map. They're never in the same place. So, but if you want to go down to the basics, I would say that I think they do it equally well. I'm not entirely sure. I like the fact that like in comparison to like Back 4 Blood compared to this, I think there's a little bit more variety in the enemy types.
Well,
right?
this you have
like
loot, right?
in Back 4 Blood, you have zombies, you have the exploders, and you have the screamers, and you have the big chonky boys with long arms, right? In this one, you've got a really vast selection of enemies, and they all look somewhat different from each other.
Are they all
right?
Nurgle, or are they like all chaos varieties?
I think they're all chaos varieties, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is this there's also loot, right? Because I know in Vermintide, like that was a big thing. Was like it was a looter game as well. Like you would get loot.
Yeah, you had to find weapons. You had to find your amulets.
Yeah. Was that? Does this have?
No, you don't find them in you don't find weapons while you're doing the mission. You get new weapons at the end of each mission. Or
so
you can get new weapons.
So it's like the Federation like awarding you for a good victory.
Yeah,
you get a loot box essentially, right? And that
essentially you get a loot box, and if you do extremely well, you get an additional loot box. Essentially,
I mean that's how Vermintide worked too. Actually, is depending on how much you succeeded, you would get a dice roll at the end, and then you would get a rarity increase depending on that dice roll and how you did throughout the mission.
I don't know if that's the case with Darktide. I didn't see like a dice roll. You got whatever you got at the end of it. And then if you did extremely well, you got an emperor, what was called an emperor's gift, which, as far as I saw, wasn't really a gift. Usually, it was just kind of a shitty, like weapon or something like that. So, Brainstain was saying that Fast Shark has a defined formula, and they've perfected over 3 games, which I do agree with. And each enemy always comes from somewhere in Fat Shark's games, so it's not just spawn on your whatever's coming up. So that's kind of a nice. And I will say that again, Vermintide, as the gripes that I have with Vermintide is that it becomes extremely repetitive extremely quickly. I have a very bad feeling that that's probably going to be the same with this game because it got really repetitive for me just
Does
doing the
this go
beta.
through like a story like progression, like some other,
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah,
like
it's
like,
got a story. Yeah,
okay, so it's not
it's
just like
exactly like
throwing you
Vermintide.
into
Each
killer or whatever.
Vermintide had like chapters, and each chapter had like
Yeah.
4 or 5 maps inside of that chapter that spelled out like a full story for that chapter, right? All coalescing into the full overarching storyline. So
Okay, couldn't remember.
Awesome.
yeah, it's good, man. Like I also it is coming out November 30th, and it's $40. It's $39.99 or $59.99 for the Imperial Edition, which gives you some skins and shit. So
there you go.
It's not
All
bad.
right.
I think it's a good one. It's definitely a good one. If it comes out with another beta, definitely check it out. I think you'll probably enjoy it. I think you'd enjoy it for sure, son.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I like
know there's a
games.
bunch of people in my community that are hyped about it, so it'll be something I'll be getting whenever it comes out for sure.
Cool.
All right, moving on, Mr. Scruff, playing some spooky games with
my
with
sister.
the sister. So what is this? What game is this?
So yeah, we got into some spooky games finally, because I am way late to the show. It's like mid-November or October already. And we finally jumped into one that I've been looking at for a while called From the Darkness. And it's a very short and simple game, very like closed environments, because really it's a game where it just takes place in a abandoned Soviet apartment, of which your grandpa owned. And yes.
In Mother Russia, Portman hunts you.
I was about to say you went from American to Soviet to back to American like instantly. It just made me chuckle.
Of course, I don't know why that happens, but it just is. But yeah, so this is an apartment of your deceased grandfather, and you're just going pretty much through it. And I don't know if the story is whether you're cleaning it or whatnot, but you're just thrown in there pretty much.
Can I just say really quickly before we get too far, like, do old people creep you guys out sometimes too? Like when you go to like their houses and shit
on a daily basis,
bro. Shut the fuck up, you little shit.
No, old people do not creep me out. I'm quite okay. With
I don't know. It's not all of them.
Old people.
It's yeah. It's not all of them.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's a few creepy old people. Like
yeah.
Up on one of the units recently, we've had one that they're a troublemaker, and they just they have to like have them sitting out near the desk so that they can keep an eye on them, and they just mean mug everybody that comes through. They don't say anything. They just mean mug them.
It's like Walmart, dude. I swear they always have one posted up on a chair or something.
I'll say if you've lived that long, I think you've earned the right to mean mug people.
Yeah, I'm not hating on the person, but anytime a nursing manager calls me up to the floor and I need to go see something, I don't want to get eyeballed the whole time.
Yeah,
dude.
I don't know what it is, man.
So, well, I mean, since we're derailing, there was my grandmother suffered from Alzheimer's, so she was in a home, and whenever we would go there, I learned because he did it to me. But there was an old man, and he obviously had dementia of some sort or whatever else. But I swear to God, I think he knew what he was doing, because he'd be like, come over here, give me a hug, and whatever, go and give me one. He's like, here, smell my finger, and you're like, what the fuck is that? He goes, it's shit. And I swear to God, he would do that with and we had to warn people, like, don't smell that dude's finger. It's fucking
got
shit.
him.
So, yeah.
They just don't give a shit anymore, literally. It's
no,
hey, man.
Quite hilarious.
Anyway,
anyways, back to the game. It's a short, sweet little horror game.
It's just sweet. It's just
just sweet. Yeah, it's got a lot of these tens of short story horror games. They tend to have a reoccurring gameplay loop, which with this one and many others, you're just kind of going back and forth until new stuff happens, new spooks, and then you're solving a few puzzles along the way. This doesn't stray from that dynamic any more than any other game, much like one that I talked about on the show, I think last October, actually, the summer of '58, which there was some controversy on that, and I think for the same reasons, just because it's a short game, people don't feel like that's deemable for a game to have at a price point. But this is a short one at the price point of like $7.
Not bad.
It's got not bad at all. I love these short little games that
they're usually really well polished and have a lot of heart behind them.
Yeah,
this one so far I'm actually kind of impressed with the physics system in it. It looks pretty decent.
It's got it's very minimalistic. Like there's your movement and your interacting ability, and then it's got some like dynamic like camera features and whatnot, and that's really all it has and all it needs. Because other than that, you're just in this apartment, just going back and forth trying to figure shit out, and it's creepy as hell. And
that's not fucking creepy at all.
And there is a doll that Enigma would just absolutely hate.
Yeah, I'm good.
I
don't need no dolls. Oh.
But there's not much more to say on it. It's From the Darkness. It's a good short little story. Got some good spooks. One of the scarier games I've played in a while too. I definitely recommend it if you were into this kind of stuff, and it's perfect for the month of October. So
there's one horror game that I want to actually pick up and play on stream because I think you guys would fucking laugh your asses off at me playing it. Is that Mortuary Assistant?
Oh, I want to play that too.
I've watched like a couple of people play it. That is fucking creepy as shit.
It looks creepy as shit. Yeah,
it's a good time, man.
Have you played it?
No, but I've watched a bunch of people play it. It's just a fun game, like from the looks of it.
Yeah. So,
yep. All right. I thought on Steam, right?
On Steam, yes.
There you go. Okay. All right. Well, moving on to a not scary game. In fact, this game is filled with fun and laughter and amazing and just everything that is. It's Marvel Snap, baby. Yo, this game is actually Bill's somehow getting getting.
This is that mobile game, right?
Yes, it's a mobile game.
It's this mobile kids game, right?
And I don't give a fuck what you want to call it. I am happy that I actually have a good Avengers game finally.
Bill is what?
You're getting pushed ads. Didn't you say you're getting like ads pushed to your fucking device over this and you didn't even watch it?
Oh, yeah. My Twitter is pushing Marvel Snap ads. So
I was getting Twitch ads for it.
Yeah. Look, here's the thing. The game is the game. When I first saw this announced, I was like, oh, fuck, man. This is just going to be another cash grab. It's not going to have any kind of sustenance. It's just shit, right? I've played other Marvel, mobile games. They have one that's kind of a la Raid Legends style stuff and whatever, and it's just really bad. And this I went in with very, very, very low expectations, but I'd seen the ads. Obviously, I'm a Marvel fan. I had to play it, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I find myself now going back and I've loaded it up on my Steam Deck, but I found myself going back and forth being like, well, do I play it on my phone or do I play something on my Steam Deck? And like, if I'm sitting in the car, I was with my kid today, waiting for him to get done with soccer, I popped up this and was just sitting there going, do this. So it's better Enigma because I'm not going on TikTok, if that makes you fucking happy. But
it's fun.
Like I really, the concept behind the game, free to play, by the way, is basically you are given a deck of heroes. They all have an energy cost that increasing and goes up every single turn. I gotta sneeze, sorry. There is, I'm gonna sneeze again. Wow.
Usually it comes in 3, guys.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's you get basically 6 turns. That's it. Every round is 6 turns, and whoever has got the most power, at 2 out of 3 wins the round, and that's as simple as it is. And you can play 4 cards per section, so a total of 12 cards can be played, and they all range from 1 power up to 6 power, and they are 1 energy up to 6 energy. And that's it. And you have to be very, there's strategic ways to play the cards because they have different abilities and different things. Like you can have like the Hulkbuster armor, which when you play that, it will attach to another card in the location, which gives it bonus power. They do a very good job of like.
What the fuck is that Hulk art, man?
It's just a comic book art. It's a variant comic book art.
That's a very interesting. It looks like he's like shaking his booba at you. He's like, "Oh, baby, come and get it. I know you want it."
So the paid version, the paid element into the game is that you can buy variants of the card. So if you are a card collector, you can go in and say, "Hey,
Is this an NFT game?
Not that I know of. I don't.
Okay,
don't know.
good.
Oh, an NFT game.
No, I've not gotten anything that like shows it as an NFT.
Okay,
I think
just wanted to double check. You
Yeah.
said like actual collection.
Well,
and I'm like,
I mean, I think it's like what do you call it? Like Magic the Gathering, how they you can get their cards and they have different variants of their cards in their games.
Gotcha.
It's very similar to that. I have not seen a way. Now this is still early access. I've not seen a way for you to be able to trade your cards. And like, so I think owning the variant is because they do go up from like, standard to rare to or uncommon to rare to epic to whatever. Like as you play the game, you get this dark or this matter for every single card that like they randomly give you certain experience for a card at the end of a match, and then you can level it up with another currency. Now you can purchase that currency, but the thing I love about this, leveling the card up does nothing more than just changing the variant. Like that's all it does. It just makes the card go from being a normal thing to this frame break to being like a 3D version to being like a 3D motion version to being holographic, but it doesn't increase power. It doesn't increase the card. Like it is all just cosmetic. That is the whole kind of thing behind the paywall. Now they do have a battle pass. They give you a free one right out of the gate. I will own up and say that today I purchased the $10 battle pass for the next one to start playing that. But it's very well done. Like it is a very well done. Like at first I didn't think there was any strategy involved whatsoever. I thought it was just going to be like, whatever, this is just, you can figure out who's going to win. But I'm telling you, man, there's swings in the game. There is strategy that's involved. You have 3 different zones that will change based on different things that happen. So like one of them will be like, if you don't play anything here, you get 1 extra power per turn or 1 extra energy per turn. If you can only play cards that cost like 1 and 2 in this zone. At the end of one of these is like at the end of the turn 3, it's gonna destroy a random zone. So like you could be building around this zone, location, and then all of a sudden it's destroyed. Like there's apocalypse cards that wipe. It's just, I mean, they did a very good job. Like I have to sing their praise on this one. They did a phenomenal job. I'm very much enthused with this game to the point that I've been like I said, I streamed it on my main channel on YouTube, and I plan on continuing to stream it. Like this is a game that
wait a minute. On your main channel, is that implying there's a spicy sub channel that we need to get a hunt going on for?
I mean, my
that's
OF, baby.
That's his naked yoga channel.
My naked yoga channel.
You heard it here first, folks. Go find the NSFW Sin channel.
There you go.
Tattoos on that channel.
Yep, that's the NSFW Jeep channel.
Yeah,
the naked yoga Jew channel.
So yeah. So anyway, Marvel Snap, I really do.
Oh, hairy chest all the time.
Oh my God, guys, I'm trying to bring us back. This is Marvel Snap. You can get it on your phone. You can get it on Steam. It's completely free to play. I'm telling you right now, this is the best Avengers game that's come out in the last 5 years.
Which is kind of sad. Yeah, not gonna lie. You might be right about that statement, but it's a sad statement still.
Yeah, I'm not happy about the fact that that's the case, but it is a it is a truth.
It's a competent card game, and it's different than like the standard card battlers that are out. It seems like it has a unique niche, and I can appreciate that about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last thing I'll say too about so there's this thing with the cubes. So the ranking system, the way that works is you basically get cosmic cubes. I love the fact that they did their own little ranking thing here. You can snap, which is obviously the name of the game, but also too goes back to Thanos snap, right? You snap, and if you think that you're going to beat your opponent, you can snap to double the charge on there to say, because it basically it starts from 1, and then at the end of round 6, it'll double, it'll go to 2. And that's how much you've wagered. If you lose that many, and if you win that many. Well, each person can snap once, and if they snap, they double it. Now you have a chance to retreat, and if you retreat, you only lose the half of whatever it is. But if you retreat, the winner wins all of it. So you can there's a risky element to be like, cool, I know I've got this in the bag, and I snap. And if you know that I use it as a saying, okay, cool, you think you're going to win, so I play it and like, this is how I think they're going to play based off this. So a lot of the game is kind of this, you're playing the opponent, not necessarily the cards. Like you need to guess at where they're going to put said cards, which I like. Like it adds an element that you can't get from a normal kind of card battler out there, which is cool. Mobile Snap.
Seems
Check it out.
Glad you're enjoying it.
So my question is, when are we going to see the Raid Shadow Legends advertisements?
Oh my god, I don't even like Raid Shadow Legends. I played Raid Shadow Legends. I didn't like it.
You know
What about Dislight? Have you tried Dislight?
I have. I messed with Dislight a little bit. I didn't.
Dislight I actually
I need to get
really
back
enjoy
into it.
from the art style to
I've heard it's actually
like
it's not
how
bad.
the game
Yeah.
plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot more going to it than what Raid does. It's very Raid-esque, but I feel like it's a lot more in depth. Just while we're talking about mobile games, that's the one that I've been vibing with recently.
Is there a desktop version of that?
Game said, I'm gonna say real quick, you have a lot of screen space on the side to post your own ads.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could post my own ads. Yeah, absolutely. I'll start doing that. So
do it.
Anyway, Jesus Christ, the game's good. I like it. It's fun. Go try it out. It's free.
Clash of Clans next week, boys.
Oh my god, dude, what? It's a good, it's a good game. Anyway, all right.
Now. Yeah, it's the mobile gaming podcast.
Oh my god. We are moving on to the news section of the show. We wrapped up all the games that we've been playing. And I'm excited for the next show too, because we got some cool games that are coming out that we're gonna be able to keep playing. So but
excited too.
News section here. So not a whole lot, like this is coming into the end of the year, right? So not a whole lot of news is kind of coming out, but I'm gonna start with one that's actually in the middle of our section, but I think we're all very passionate about G4. I don't know if you guys know if all you youngsters don't know what G4 is. What it was this amazing television show or network that had awesome gaming stuff, like before Twitch was a thing, before like the internet was really big. This is where we went and got our gaming content. Like if you were a nerd, you knew G4. Like that's how you knew you had nerd friends. Like that's how you knew somebody was a nerd. You'd be like, you know what G4 is? Be like, oh fuck yeah, Attack of the Show. All that kind of, like, yeah, absolutely.
I remember slight tangent about back in the day when G4 was in its prime. I actually got in trouble for watching, and I had to explain to my parents what the channel was about, because the only instance that they had on it is an advertisement for like jiggle physics or something that was going on. So my mom just walks into the room and she just sees jiggle boobies going everywhere, like Dead or Alive stuff. And
it was.
She thought I was into some like a lot worse stuff than what I was actually.
I remember Olivia Munn deep throating a fucking hot dog.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
multiple times. That was a regular occurrence.
That was AOTS, baby. That AOTS was actually probably the most ungaming out of all of them. You had X-Play.
AOTS was like the pop culture show for them.
Yeah, you had Arcade Battler.
X-Play was kind of their gaming and shit. What was the one with it was the older guy that did the tech news. Do you remember his name?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember who it was.
You're not talking about Tommy Tallarico. He's the like music, like orchestral person. But he used to do. He did the arcade.
It was one of their.
We have access to the internet.
Their hosts. Yeah, I'm looking it up, bro. Keep talking.
So what was it? Attack of the Show, X-Play, Code Monkeys.
Code Monkeys, great.
Yeah,
dude.
Code Monkeys
was great.
Whenever I had COVID, I actually started watching Code Monkeys again.
They had
to rot my brain even more.
Cinematech, Icons. I remember they also used to do they started doing
Scott the Woz.
Some of the weird shit, man. Remember they started doing like Street Fury and fucking Campus PD. That shit would like start coming on. That's when they got a little weird, but Nerd Nation was a big one. They had the MLG tournaments. Like it was I miss old school G4. We all missed old school
Bro,
yeah.
I remember when they first brought over American Ninja Warrior. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And then I watched every time. It was all
great.
That was G4 was where what was the one? I know it's called Ultimate Bonzuki or Unbeatable Bonzuki. Bonkai. That was it. Dude, that was the first time that anybody like, and now it's been fucking overdone and everybody does it like they dub over like the Eastern game shows and stuff like that. But that was first done on G4. So it all of this stuff happened. And then, it went away. Like, unfortunately, the way
poor
of
management, they burnt their funds. Yeah.
Yep. So it went away, and then they had this idea of bringing it back. Right? They were like, "Yo, we're gonna bring it back, and it's gonna be great." And so I think we were all like super stoked, dude. We were like, "Oh my god, OGG4 is coming back! Like, this is gonna be phenomenal." Holy shit, were we wrong? Like, we got the most just absolute. Like, I think there were some good things. Like, I did watch some of the stuff. There was some of the good stuff. That some of the people there were really good. But God,
that
man,
game show that they had wasn't horrible.
You talking about the Mogul one? Or no, the Austin show?
Yeah, the Austin show. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, but they had some really bad apples. The same problems that happened with old school G4 is the same fucking problem that happened here. They put people in front of the
faster.
Oh, way faster. It wasn't even a year, right? I didn't even think it lasted a
less than a year, 12 months. Yeah, it was by 6 months they were done.
I'm surprised it even lasted that. The way that everything.
So was I. Honestly, when it started coming back, I was not excited because I was of the same mind that I was like, okay, if they come back and they bring it back like it was the old G4 TV, that's one thing. But in today's day and age, they will never be able to do that.
Have lasted,
yeah.
Well, I was just hoping that they were going to bring back X-Play, like X-Play, what X-Play originally was. Like, that formula for that worked. That could have worked. That worked then. It could have worked now. It wasn't over the top. There was not any. Like, AOTS would have been a rough one to do. Like, you're not going to be able to have somebody deep. But of course, I don't know, man. You watch some of the shows that are on that that some of these creators are doing, and it's like,
bro, watch some of the stuff that's on Twitch.
Yeah, it's like, come on. I mean, so it could have survived maybe, but in any case. It's being shut down. It's no longer. It's gone. It's kaput. They really did some shitty things though. The way that they let people know was they tweeted it out. Like, they didn't go to their staff and let the staff know. There were some people that knew. Adam Sessler knew. Obviously
Frost. I'm sure
about him.
Yeah.
about it all.
Yo, don't worry. I'm gonna take my my 1-2 punch there. Yeah. So they let staff know by tweeting this out. That's how people found out they lost their job. That's really fucked up, man. That is fucked up. Like, nobody should lose their job or learn about losing their job from a fucking tweet. Like, that's just not how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a video of and I think Enigma retweeted it. Or it was on Twitter or something of one of the employees just going through like the empty office, like reminiscing, because he was like, there were some good apples in that all, that just get screwed out because of all the other ones that that ruined it.
I can't find this fucking dude's name. I can't find the TV show. I don't know who. I can't remember. It was a TV show about like building PCs, and he took you through. It was like Jay's 2 cents. Like that was essentially what or what's his name, Linus Tech Tips, right? It was basically that style of show, but it was like, it wasn't a full show. It was like between shows, he'd tell you about like new gadgets and shit that were coming out. And I can't remember his fucking name. He was such a great PC builder. So good.
It's I think what's really sad about this is that legitimately, I'm not gonna say it's just 2 people, but really 2 people had a lot to do with the downfall of this, right?
Like, it's whatever the management factors were, because that was the downfall of the original G4, and that was the downfall of this one. Poor spending. I think poor spending had a lot to do with it, because they made like the WWE contracts. They made a few other like very high monetary contracts.
Well, like the newer ones, like them bringing Amaranth and what's her name? I can't remember the other one's name. Minx. I saw something at one point, like them bringing both of them on to just basically be there. They were getting paid like 34 grand a fucking show.
That's crazy.
I believe it.
Like, that's insane.
It's crazy, dude.
And I think, again, I'm still not going.
We know Olivia Munn's out of their ballpark now.
Oh, well,
I think, yeah. I mean, Olivia Munn's done. I don't think that she. I think, didn't she quit? She was. That was a lot. I mean, she went and started doing movie.
She's doing mainline acting and stuff now.
So I need to talk to you actually about a business pursuit. I'd like you to actually just sit behind me whenever I stream with your shirt off. I'll pay you very good.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Really bring in some viewers.
Yeah, no, you want me in a hot tub? I can straddle an inflatable banana. Yeah. I'll write things on my chest. I mean, I've already.
upset that Morgan Webb never came back, because I actually enjoyed her commentary on things.
Yeah,
I think she was a
Morgan
good
Webb
balance to
was great.
Sessler.
Morgan Webb, Christian Adams was really good. She was the host of Cheat.
I was mad that we didn't get OG Adam Sessler. We got crazy fucking off the wall, batshit insane.
We got
Adam
off the walls,
Sessler.
fucking hot nuts 40 ounce.
What
Adam
the
Sessler.
fuck, man?
Hot nuts 40 ounce.
Like that motherfucker went absolutely
went off the deep end, bro.
Batshit. Like,
he insulted West Virginia very personally too, and I'm still sad about it.
Where did that come from?
Oh, he insulted every fucking. I mean, everybody, man. It was just like anybody that was just like, you know, and that's what I think. That's what irritates me about this whole thing.
He's still going as of 9 hours ago.
I don't doubt it. Yeah, he's on his.
Still going. He's on the bender still, guys.
Like it frustrates me because these are people like him and you know, Adam Sessler and Frost. They made it very public. They made a very on-air open announcement that just like, I mean, not even, it wasn't even like a slap to the face. This was like a fucking full-blown knuckle up, you know, dip my hand in glass and glue and punch you in the face kind of comments. But then they're just like, you can't say anything back to me. You're not allowed to say something back. If you do, you're a terrible person. And he goes on these rants about telling people how he's gonna fuck their mom. And I mean, it's crazy, man. It's just like, dude, what do you can't just think that you can say whatever you want and there's no repercussions as to, you know, what you say. Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't know. And I guess they saw it. Like, here's your repercussions. And that's what I think one of the comments I said was like, you can say all this shit, but at the end of the day, you act like an ass and now you don't have a job. So congratulations. Yeah. Like, what do you want?
You fuck around, you're gonna find out. You're about to find out.
Yeah. So G4, it's gone. It's no more. So just
not surprising.
He also insulted Mississippi just randomly.
Like, where does that come from, man?
What's like insulting one state once? Okay, I get it. West Virginia is a bit of an easy target. I understand. But
what does Mississippi do?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Can I just say?
Too many eyes.
Can I just say, like, one of my biggest like fucking crushes from G4 was Sarah Underwood.
Yeah.
There was anybody else?
Sarah Underwood. Sarah Underwood. Why does that name sound familiar? Who is the redhead that
she was
she's the blonde, right? She was on Attack.
Yeah, she was the feed. She was
a blonde with the blue jacket, right?
Oh yeah.
She always was showing off her tits. Yeah.
Bro, I mean, I came up. I was a teenage male, right? And she did the on Attack of the Show. She did the nude bike riding, like for like it was some I don't know, some college or some state had like a nude bike ride in the middle of the night, and she was out there doing it. Little sin put a lot of time on that.
Yes, sir. That was rewinded multiple times, right?
Who was the redhead that was also on that show? She's still in the industry. I forgot her name, but also too, like Morgan Webb. That's where we got Jeff Keighley came from. G4. Like, these people were they were very knowledgeable and very smart. Morgan Webb is a fucking genius, by the way. Just so everybody knows, like, she is a fucking like certified Mensa genius.
Yeah, no, she had some very intelligent commentary in those things. That's why she was my personal favorite, just because she was interesting to listen to.
Absolutely. And Tommy Tallarico, though he's kind of an ass in person, his show was amazing. Like, they went into like in depth and like gaming, you know, what it takes to create these games and music and stuff like that. Like, it was, oh man, it could have been great. God. Anyway, I'm gonna go drink one for that one. We also Bayonetta is in the news. Bill, I'm gonna let you take this one because this is I believe your news, correct?
Yeah, so Bayonetta 3, there's a call to boycott the game. The original voice actors for Bayonetta for the first two games broke their NDA to come out on the reason why they were not reprising the role for Bayonetta 3. According to them, it is because Platinum Games offered them a total of $4,000 for the role, and that was it. So she rejected the role and moved on. There was some backlash and stuff, and then she broke the NDA just to bring that up, because it's kind of like
Like,
Yeah, so
nothing.
Platinum Games has recently made a statement saying that that was not the that was not the like figure, that was like the minimum figure that she was getting. They were expecting to pay her $15,000.
Bayonetta
So
is pretty big though. Like
yeah,
that
no,
still
it's
seems
a
like
very
nothing.
large franchise. So between $4,000 and $15,000 for a game that is set to sell millions of copies. I
Yeah.
don't know what I don't know anything about the voice acting industry, especially video game voice acting. But for a mainline character of a very well-known game franchise, both figures seem like extremely low.
How much was she making again?
4,000 is what she was saying. Platinum Games was estimating 15,000.
Was that 4,000 for the entire project
4,000 for
or?
the entire project. Bayonetta
Wow,
3
yeah,
project.
that's really low because like the industry standard for like entry level voice acting is like $300 for like an hour.
Platinum Games sought to hire her for 5 sessions total for recordings. Um Oh, okay. Okay. That's okay. So Platinum Games, they said it was 4,000 per session.
Okay, that makes a
Estimating
little bit more sense. Yeah,
estimating $15,000.
that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, if
Okay.
she was only paid $4,000, that's fucked up. But yeah, no, that falls in line with like basics for like a session, depending on how many words were actually being like recorded.
Yeah.
Again, it's like I think base level, and this is like just me an introduction into fucking voice acting. I think base level was like 350 to 325 for like an hour or two.
Gotcha. So it's a little bit of hearsay, like back and forth, whether you want to believe her on her $4,000 offer or Platinum Games that was 4,000 per session, 15,000 total. Whatever you want to get at. I guess she would, according to Platinum, she was asking for like a 3-figure sum total. And they couldn't negotiate through that. So
I don't know. I don't know enough.
it's raised a big stink within the voice acting community, and that stink has resonated out enough for people to call for a boycott on Bayonetta 3.
The biggest thing that
And then the new voice actress is just trying to like, hey guys, don't be mad at me. I'm just kind of doing my job here.
Yeah. The weirdest thing about that whole thing, right, is that like, and you can say that it's a tinfoil hat and everything like that, but we've been seeing a lot of AI driven like artwork and shit.
Right.
There's actually a subsection of AI driven art that's voice acting. Like AI driven voice voiceovers is getting to a point
on like the Code Miku or the project, and like what's that like anime girl that does the songs?
I'm not sure.
Miku.
I don't know.
The Twitch
Miko,
streamer?
the Twitch streamer, yeah.
No, not Code Miko, but like Miku something, Miku-san.
I'm not sure. No, this is like people in the voiceover industry actually are worried about this because AI voice like AI
I've seen like
yeah
I've heard
AI voice
crazy.
learning is starting to get to a point where like I actually had a scare with it when I was doing my stuff because there was a post that was a shady fucking company from like Bollywood or whatever, you know, that was making people say this weird script, and then it came out to be that script is actually a training script for AI voiceovers.
That's weird. So it's like
Yeah.
recording your voice to like use
It's
it to mimic,
they were
like,
yeah they were basically coming out there and trying to get people to essentially give up their voice, and then they can mimic your voice through AI. And there's a lot of people in the voiceover community that are really worried about that because like once AI can do that, there's no use for voiceover.
That's the you know, the thing with any, you know, intelligence. It's a lot of scare in a lot of environments, you know,
That's
art,
cration, man.
voice
Yeah.
acting, all of it.
That's really crazy. As someone that's been trying to get into that, that's worrying for sure. That a big game company like this will try and screw people over like that. Granted, I think it's I'm almost to the point where I'm like, and I think that Gaming Medic said it as well. I'm almost curious if somebody just fucked up and told her 4,000 was the maximum and it wasn't. But
that's a big fuck up though.
It is a big fuck up, but there are people that will do that.
according to Platinum, there was extensive negotiations on it that they couldn't like talk through. So,
well, was that extensive? I'm always curious if that was extensive negotiations after the fact that they told her the 4,000 was the maximum, and so she was just like, "No, fuck you, I'm not going to work with you anymore."
That's what I'm figuring, because I think she put a counter offer down that they didn't want to fork up.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So,
but yeah, it's interesting. It's the first time I've seen anything like this in the voice acting space since Borderlands 3. There's some
with
stuff with like the claptrap guy. Yeah.
All right.
The Borderlands 3 was just Randy Pitchford being a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
That was.
All right, moving on. We've got some. I'm gonna bring back the video feed here because we got 2 trailers that. I mean, I'm not a Silent Hill fan, but obviously the people here that are, and people that are. Silent Hill's got a like rave following, and so yeah, Silent Hill 2 is getting a remake. Correct? This is a remake of the original.
Yep, remake of Silent Hill 2, and then a new independent, a new line Silent Hill project that's just called Silent Hill F right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's
pending.
Silent Hill. So is this when we're getting a remake of Silent Hill 2? I know there hasn't been a new Silent Hill game in a long time, right? Like,
no, Konami's been real shitty with the franchise. It's
supposed to be was canned, and that was the PT.
Yeah, that was the one with Kojima. Ever since then, they kind of iceboxed the Silent Hill project. So this is kind of why it's so exciting, is because this is it coming out of the freezer, finally getting something new with it. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the Silent Hill game with Kojima and Norman Reedus, but it looks promising. It looks better than a lot of people were expecting from the franchise.
I still don't understand his fascination with Norman Reedus. Like I don't understand it, dude. Like I really fucking don't.
Kojima likes Western media a lot, and he's personally made friends with Norman Reedus. Like they're just buddies at this point.
I just don't get it, dude. Like it's weird.
Same
to me.
thing with
it's
him
so
and
fucking
Guillermo
weird.
del Toro. Him and Guillermo del Toro are like this.
It's so fucking weird, dude.
Good buds.
Yeah. The one thing I have heard about this, because it is something that I'm speaking specifically to the remake, right? That people are actually very concerned because Bloober Team has done stuff in the past that they really fuck it up and have fucked up stuff. So some of the Silent Hill, like again, podcasts that I listen to and things like that people are like big fans of, they're kind of concerned about this remake. They don't know if it's gonna hold, because Silent Hill 2, I think to a lot of people was like that was the kind of the holy grail. Like that is
introduced a lot of people to Silent Hill.
It's also the one with Pyramid Head in it. So
so like that is like the kind of piece de resistance, and taking this on, they just feel like there's a good chance that they're gonna fuck it up, because again, this is not just a remaster, this is a remake. You know, so
just like the Resident Evil 2 series.
It's a direct competition with the Resident Evil remakes that have been extremely successful. And the Dead Space remake that's coming out at the start of next year. Like, these horror franchises are bringing that horror to modern technology. When you
go into an iconic game like this, or Resident Evil 4, do you think that there is room to kind of again do a remake and not a remaster, right? To just basically kind of say, hey, we're gonna change some stuff, right? Or do you think you should just keep to the original?
I think you can expand on the original. I think change is the wrong word. You can change it in a positive direction by expanding out on it, but I think if you try to deviate too much from whatever the original's like base was, like, you can't morph the skeleton into something different and expect people to like it. You can put more muscle and more like build upon that skeleton, but the skeleton still needs to be the same to keep the identity of the product.
So essentially, because ideally here, what some people are saying is that, oh, well, what they're going to do is, back in the day, you were limited by what you could do. The tech was only so much, so you couldn't, stuff got put on the cutting room floor, all of those kind of things. So basically they're saying like, hey, like, bring back that kind of stuff. Bring the cutting, like, make the Silent Hill 2 game the Silent Hill 2 game. Like, make it, just give us more of what we wanted. But this is, completely different team. So it's just gonna be interesting. Specifically Silent Hill 2, like I said. I'm not speaking about Silent Hill F.
The things with the tech back in the day, and something that I have also heard concerns about with this specifically is that they're going to mess up the atmosphere of it, because part of the atmosphere was due to the fog and stuff from Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 2.
The cameras too. We've talked about these camera angles.
Camera angles. Yeah.
And the camera angles, but
the biggest thing in those games like Resident Evil as well.
Both were due to limitations of the technology. They couldn't render that much stuff, so they used the fog to minimize render distance, and they also used the camera angle so that they could deload things behind the camera.
Yeah.
So,
granted,
both of
I
those
think
aspects away, it'll give a better quality of gaming experience, but
the immersion.
Well, granted, in today's day and age, and with the current technology that we have with the actual game development these days, I think that you could even have better fog, like volumetric fog and everything like that, instead of having that limitation to where it's due to not being able to render. Yeah. I think you would have even more gorgeous fog, and on top of that, be able to render further.
That's the hope, because like they said, Silent Hill 2, for the first remake that they're wanting to do, that's a big undertaking, and especially since Silent Hill's been ghosted for a very long time. It's sketchy, and Konami's also not on the best foot. They've been chilling all of their major franchises, so I hope it succeeds so that we could potentially get some more of their franchises brought out. Like, I would mind a new mainline, main console Castlevania game to come out. Well, potentially a Souls-like Castlevania. That would be pretty dope.
The thing that the people are worried about is basically, if you look at Bloober Team, what they've done Layers of Fear, which was and so Layers of Fear 1 and 2
was pretty good.
Right, pretty good, right? That's the thing. They did Blair Witch, which is another one that was
also pretty good.
They did Observer System Redo, and then The Medium, which there's good and bad. Like, people there, it's a very polarizing. People really love The Medium.
Actually came out free on PlayStation Plus. I want to give that a try.
And then people that really hated it. So that's the thing that they're saying is you could have picked a lot of different people to do this, and you pick someone that's just kind of has well, that's okay. And you pick an iconic franchise with not only an iconic franchise, but an iconic franchise and the iconic game in that franchise. So
I'm sure there was a lot that went into the decision making for this. So maybe they saw something in them that, other developers
saw dollar signs, broski. That's what they saw. I don't know.
Is that why?
They saw dollars. They saw it was I don't know. Maybe I'm being a cynic here, but I hope for Silent Hill fans that this game is good, because I played Silent Hill 2. I remember Silent Hill 2. I was very iconic about Silent Hill
2. If honestly a big thing, if they nail the sound design in this game too, I think that was a huge part of Silent Hill for me, because you guys know that death rattling chain background noise and the
yeah, man,
the beat that it had going on whenever it went into the alternate realm or whatever. I can't remember what are the Silent Hill terms, but man, that my heart used to get pumping back then the day, dude. I think if they nail that, this game it could have a chance.
Yeah, I agree. I am excited about Silent Hill F though. I think there's more potential in that being good than the Silent Hill 2 remake being amazing.
I agree with that completely.
I'm interested to see what they do with the franchise, given that they canned Silent Hills.
Mm-hmm. What is the purpose behind
point for the franchise? They're also working on a TV show and a new movie. So
yeah, and the TV show, interestingly enough, I believe is interactive. It's one of those interactive type where you can make decisions. I don't know. I've never done it. I've never tried it. But from what I hear, people enjoy that kind of style.
Do they? Because they've never worked. They always fail. Remember the fucking sci-fi MMO game that was had a narrative element to it that you could control? That fucking blew. Yeah, there was what was it? Oh, it was an MMO. And it was a TV show and an MMO, and they followed based on what you did.
Defiance,
yeah, Defiance.
I didn't know they did an interacting show.
It wasn't interactive. The TV show wasn't interactive at all.
But it was it's a thing that what they did. I'm just making a point that their interactivity there was what you did in the game, would affect what happens on the show.
That's different from what they're doing here. I believe it's going to be more of the style of like what Netflix does, where they have like actual interactability like on screen. Much to what it reminds me of is like if you ever
read
the
Black Mirror
old
episode.
Yeah, like the Black Mirror one. And it's a lot. If you guys ever read like old Goosebumps, you had
or
like
the Markiplier, like Space with Markiplier, like
yeah,
the hallway or the door, that kind of thing.
Kind of thing. Yeah, it's a lot more into that.
Petting Chica or not petting Chica.
God. But, I don't know.
Chica did not like that. She'll remember that.
And they're also making a movie, like you said too.
I like the Silent Hill movies. I also like the Resident Evil movies. I love those shitty horror.
I do
movies.
too, man. I own every single fucking
they hit
one
me
of
right
them.
here. Like I'm excited for a new Silent Hill movie.
Yep. I own them all. They're a guilty pleasure. I like the fucking the new Resident Evil TV show or Netflix series that they canned. So I enjoyed that. But whatever. So there you go. So we're wrapping up, guys. The show is coming to a quick end here. We do have some quick hits that we're going to talk about as far as news wise. But if you have any questions, feel free to put them in chat. We'll answer them as best we can. Keep them, please, related to the show that we we obviously talked about, or topics that we talked about. But yeah, so some quick hit news here. Splinter Cell Remake. The director leaves Ubisoft. There's
after 11 years.
Yeah. So
Ubisoft is imploding.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
That happened, unfortunately. So if you're excited about a Splinter Cell remake, which I was, because I love fucking Splinter Cell, yeah, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Yep. Overwatch 2. What's going on with this?
It's a very quick little. I wanted to roast Overwatch again because it's fun.
You could tell how much I don't give a fuck about Overwatch. I just put down Overwatch shit.
Yeah.
Well, not just that, but also the fucking link that you linked is the fucking Silent Hill link. So really, I have no idea what this is other than just saying Overwatch shit.
Again, you can tell how much I give a fuck about Overwatch poo.
It quite literally is Overwatch shit. It's just more of their recycling bullshit. This time it's a Australia McDonald's sponsorship like event or something, to where if you're in Australia, you can order something on the McDonald's app and get a Overwatch skin. Yay. Well, the thing is, a lot of people were upset about it because it's only in Australia, so it's a select group of people that can only do it. But then everybody was immediately over it and they didn't care anymore, because when they saw the skin that they were giving, it's a Overwatch 1 epic skin, so not even like a legendary skin, and it is considered one of the worst skins in the game, if not the worst. It's just ugly and gross, and so the fact that they're even using it for this is sad in the first place, because they can't come up with anything new for a new event for a new game. So yeah, that's really all it is. Just more Overwatch shit.
Look, here's the thing about Overwatch. The game is fun to play. Don't put any money into it, please. Like, it's free.
Please.
Don't put any money into it.
I am happy that Overwatch 1's free now.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. No, and I still go by it's Overwatch 0.5. It's
low
less
key.
than 1.
Low key. I'm waiting for Rainbow Six Siege to do the exact same thing that Overwatch did. Rainbow Six Siege 2, literally nothing different.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? I mean, why not? They fucking Blizzard already did it.
Within the next 5 years, Ubisoft will make a Siege 2 that is just Rainbow Six Siege 1 on an upgraded graphics engine, hopefully with a better anti-cheat, but there won't be anything different to it.
Yeah, like I said, what's stopping them? Like, Blizzard did it. Why not?
It'll be free to play. I am making that prediction now. Give it 5 years. Let's see if I got this.
I'm still coining the term Overwatch poo, because that is what it is.
That's solid too. Yeah, no, it's a fun game to play. I'm still playing it. I still hate it for everything it stands by, but yeah,
You enjoying those Bork tip boxes with that Hanzo log?
Fuck him.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh yeah. Sam, you don't even need a hitbox.
You have no skill. You just hold down the fucking thing and it just directly tracks to it.
Okay.
And I saw something today where if you're a Moira player, you wanted to play DPS, but you didn't want to wait through the DPS queue, so you picked healer and chose Moira.
Sure.
Moira is literally the most smooth brain fucking character in that entire game because you literally just hold down one button.
Don't care. I don't care. I like her. I play her well.
As long as you have fun, that's all that matters.
As long as you have fun, bro.
I do. Speaking of other games, and I don't want to call the game shit game, but New World, they launched the Brimstone update.
Shit game.
November 2nd, the servers wipe or fresh.
It's fresh starts. It's fresh starts.
November 2nd. Yeah.
So the reason this is a quick hit and why, at least for me, it's a fucking joke is because they literally just went through server consolidation because there's not enough people playing the game. They just did an update.
That's why I wanted to, that's why I brought it up was because I was curious what you guys thought of it. Because like in my experience from playing like Arcade and other fucking MMOs that have completely failed in the past, like what was that one that we played with Jagarda? Do you remember that one?
You better not be talking about WildStar because I swear to God I will come to the internet and slap the shit out of you.
We didn't play WildStar with Jagarda. I can't remember what it was called. It was the one that was on Steam.
Like multiple iterations.
Oh, like wait, are you talking about Swords of Legend Online?
No, it was before that. I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, they're like that one that had fresh start servers and then re-released as a different name and then re-released as a different name. I am curious.
How about Bless?
What your guys? Yes, Bless. Yeah. Yes, that's it. Yep. Bless. I'm curious what your guys' opinions are on like if you actually think that these like fresh start servers actually do anything. Because in my opinion and in my experience, they do absolutely fuck all nothing. You get a huge boost of people that are like, oh yeah, let's go back and play the fucking game, and then it goes from like a week of just being like, boo, it goes up, and then it just goes straight back down.
Like that. But the thing is, here I think it's needed because one, they've actually brought back a big player base from this expansion that's came out, and the thing that stands still is the economy is still shit because it was exploited, glitched, all of that with duping and all that. So they have the player base here now. They need to do a fresh wipe to actually fix the economy.
They actually do have a decent player base, Spike. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's actually brought it back. They just need to not let that economy flop again like it did.
Hold on one second. Let's quantitate what bringing it back means. By bringing it back, do you mean the fact that they paid a bunch of streamers a shit ton of money to stream the game and bring their audience to it for
listen, if it was 1 month of a spike, I would say that, but it's been a 3-month spike so far, and they've went from 20,000 to 70,000.
It's actually brought a lot of people back just like naturally just through like this new expansion and everything that they're coming out with from what I've seen and heard.
I don't know where you're looking at. I'm looking at 30,000 average players on Steam charts as of the last 30 days.
I was looking at I said peak. I did.
Yeah, and that's
even peak players as of Steam charts is only 65 grand.
I mean, that's rounding
a lot more than it was. It wasn't like below the tens, like in like the.
I mean, it dropped from 1 million. Like,
yeah, I mean, I feel like we knew it would. I mean, it's Amazon, and the reason it dropped from 1 million was because of all the exploits and all the HTML glitches and all that kind of shit. So there's no doubt it definitely should have dropped from that big of a player base, but at least it's kind of bringing it back.
Low-key, though, Elden Ring still has the same amount of average players, and it's a single player game for the most part.
Yeah, I mean,
it's because Elden Ring's a good game. Like
they went from like 13,000 average players to 30,000. Like, yeah, that's a big jump. But 30,000 players is like a server.
Yeah, but how often do we see this in I think it's we have to compare this guys to other MMOs that do the exact same shit. When a new expansion comes out, that everybody flocks to it. Like you look at WoW Classic. WoW Classic is the same thing. Their numbers were dwindling. Wrath came out. Numbers go through the fucking roof, right?
It's the same thing.
What you had?
I was about to say it's the same thing for Arcade and Bless as well. Like Arcade, whenever they released a new content, their player base shot the fuck up.
Just whenever they released a new game.
I mean, even before they released the new games, when they released new fresh start servers, they would have a huge increase in player base, and then it would just fall off.
I don't know. I guess it's going to come down to see what happens long term after this wipe. And
I just don't think that it's that big of a fucking change. Like, have they actually fixed all the issues?
From what I've heard, they fixed like the exploits and duping, but I don't know what other. Oh yeah, the HTML shit. I don't know. I have to look more into it. All I know is that it's gaining popularity again, so they must be doing something at least.
I mean, the sad thing about it all is that it had the opportunity to be something big. New World had an opportunity to do something really cool. It was a cool game and it was fun, but it just
not for the people at the fishing village.
No, fuck them. Yeah, trust me. I miss my Warden days. I want to go back, but no, I'm just kidding. I don't want to go back. I mean, I did. I downloaded it on my Steam Deck. I played it, for a little bit, and then uninstalled it. Like it was. I was like, okay, cool. This plays. That's good. I don't need to know anymore. Like it is what it is. So there you go. Yeah. That's it. That's the show, boys and girls. Episode number 68 is in the bag. We did get one question at least from my side. What? Huh?
I said one more.
One more. I was like, did I miss something in the news? I didn't think I did. We did get a question in my chat that came through and asked, any thoughts and comments on the new Modern Warfare 2 game coming out? Myself and Scruffy will be playing it. I will be streaming the campaign for it. Yeah. And then I am actually very excited about the multiplayer. Myself and Scruffy played the beta. We really loved it, really enjoyed it, had a great time with it. They're making really good changes to like the third person thing. They're listening to the community. They're following stuff. Well, they're listening to the right communities when it comes to these things and telling other communities to fuck off. I'm super stoked.
My biggest wonder is how they're going to really do the Tarkov light mode. I hope that does better than what Battlefield put out with their hard zone or whatever it was called.
Yeah. I mean, even if they don't, I'm still ecstatic about the regular base game.
Me too.
I had a blast with it, and
really they fixed the third person mode too. From pretty much every complaint I had about it, they have taken that feedback, and seemingly it's pretty much how it should be now. So that's good.
Oh, we did get guys. You have a reason to come back to the next show.
There you go. Oh, we also did get asked about the Mario movie.
It's good. I'm excited about it. I think the animations are good. Jack Black killed it.
How about Mr. Chris Pratt in the Mario voice?
I mean, I can look past that.
It's me, a Mario.
Somebody changed like the tone of Toad, and they like bumped it down
more
a little
screech
bit
to it, or did they make it Nightmare Fuel?
They made it sound exactly like Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers, and I can't unhear it. I can't. So that happened.
That's amazing. But yeah, I'm excited about the Mario movie. I think it'll actually be good.
Yeah,
I will not be watching it. I'm good.
The voice is whatever. You're not gonna get Chris Pratt to play the fucking voice of Mario, and Mario.
I can't see Chris Pratt as Mario. I'm sorry.
I watch everything Jack Black.
It just seems weird to me. I mean, Jack Black's great, and I completely agree with you. Like all of this shit that he brings out is amazing.
Penguins were funny.
I can't see.
Do you yield
as Mario?
I don't know. Great. I think it might be like a fun time. I just don't think it'll be a true Mario movie.
Look, if I can watch the shitty Resident Evil movies and enjoy them, I can watch this and enjoy it. So I'm fine.
Yeah.
So. Don't pay money for it.
No, I'm not.
Don't go to a fucking movie theater.
Go to the movie theater. Get some popcorn that's fucking nasty and disgusting and had someone's
some gummy bears up your ass.
Yeah, there you go.
Get a popcorn barrel with a hole in the middle.
Guys, episode number 68 is in the bag. Thank you guys all for being here. For everybody that was with us live, thank you so much. If you are listening to us post, thank you so much. Join us live. We're here every other Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on all of our channels. We will catch you guys next time for episode number 69. Giggity.
Nice.
Installation.